This channel is for adults and not for kids. Hey guys, thanks for stopping back by. Today I wanted to make a video and talk to you guys about the Stan Winston action figures. I was real excited about making this one. It gave me a chance to open up my boxes and pull these figures out. I love these action figures. They are very, very cool. And unfortunately, sometimes you can give the public exactly what they want and it just goes up in flames. Sometimes you can give the public exactly what they're demanding and they don't know how to receive it and it all just goes for naught. And that's unfortunately what happened with the Stan Winston action figures. So to properly talk about the Stan Winston action figures, you have to actually start with Todd McFarlane and with McFarlane Toys. So Todd McFarlane revolutionized the action figure world. Period. End of sentence. For all of us toy collectors who were around back in the 90s, it was like a nuclear bomb went off when McFarlane hit the scene. So action figures were pretty crude and rudimentary before the Spawn action figures. And after the Spawn action figures, everybody else was trying to copy Todd McFarlane. So McFarlane brought incredible sculpting details to the action figure world. He had all the top sculptors in the business working for him and just producing stuff that when you would set it next to the other action figures that were being sold, it was like night and day. The McFarlane stuff was just super detailed and the other stuff just looked like little kid toys or Happy Meal toys. So because of the McFarlane toys, because of Spawn and the subsequent other lines that McFarlane Toys made, when the other action figure companies had to throw their hats into the ring, they had to play catch up. And it like changed everything. You had Batman figures, which went from being really crude looking little kid toys to all of a sudden having these uber sculpts and paint jobs. It even affected the Star Wars action figures. The Power of the Force figures that came, it was the return of Star Wars figures in the 90s. All of a sudden Luke Skywalker looked like Lou Ferrigno. All of the Star Wars figures were copying the Spawn style. They were better sculpted, but they had these insane superhero musculatures to them. Everybody from Star Wars to Batman to Ninja Turtles, you name it, everybody was trying to copy Todd McFarlane's action figure style. Well, Stan Winston decided to throw his hat into the ring when it came to action figures. And in 2001, he released several lines of action figures, all underneath the banner of Stan Winston. So this beautiful looking monster is from the line called Creature Features, and I believe this one was called The Visitor, and it is just a gorgeous looking monster. Now granted, this was like McFarlane, so that it was more about the sculpting details of the monsters with limited articulation, which I liked just fine. I'm more of a give me an insanely killer sculpt than give me 57 points of articulation. I just want the thing to look amazing. And I mean, it does have points of articulation. Like, you're not going to have him, driving a vehicle or breakdancing or whatever. But he does come off of his base. He has cuts at his arms and his thighs and his head turns. But he looks amazing on his little base. And These action figures came with like a CD-ROM, and it told you more about the monsters. And this was from the line Creature Features. So, like I said, there was many lines that dropped all around the same time, but they all fell underneath the banner of Stan Winston action figures. So this was Creature Features. These beautiful werewolves are from, what was it called? The line was called Blood Wolves, and it was a line of werewolves. Look at this. Tell me this is not a gorgeous figure. But like I said in the beginning, sometimes you can give the public exactly what it is they want, and the reception is just lukewarm. So, toy collectors were clamoring that they wanted highly detailed action figures. And that's what Stan Winston gave us, was highly detailed, incredibly sculpted monsters. And these lines failed. They failed to go anywhere. I think my theory as to why it bombed, other than people just being stupid, was that it wasn't connected to like an IP. It wasn't like connected to Blood Wolves the movie. But you know what? No, I take it back. That doesn't even make sense, because the Creature Features line did come from movies. Stan Winston made some updates of Roger Corman films for HBO, starring that monster and starring a couple of the other monsters. So there was a movie presence to some of these, and they still bombed. But I do think that had there been like a Blood Wolves comic or a Blood Wolves movie or cartoon, maybe it would have went over better. Look, they come with a cool little base. It's a snowy, bloody base. There's this little guy. He's kind of a American Werewolf in London-ish looking. He's sort of a quadruped. He's on all fours. Look at the sculpt on these things. Man. Just so good. I feel bad for Stan Winston. Like, I loved these figures. I could not get enough of them. I snatched up a ton of them, and I kept waiting for the next series and the next series, and you know, it just never came. So these were the Blood Wolves, and they each came with like a little trading card. Blood Wolves. Now, I don't have all the figures. I just bought the ones that I liked. There were some that I thought were kind of stupid looking, so I didn't buy those. But all the ones I bought, these figures are so cool looking. Okay, next up is another line that he had. This is a line called Realm of the Claw. So, you know, obviously it's cats. This is like a Black Panther warrior guy with a jungle-like base. He comes with an alternate portrait of a calm face, neutral face. Puss, puss, puss. And then he's got this really killer, angry, roaring face. Wow! Oops, let me back up a little bit. Little bendable tail. Oh, his looks like his little belt popped out. Look at his ears are scooped back like a cat when they get mad. That is a cool figure. Yeah, these cats were called Realm of the Claw. Highly detailed, really gorgeous. So he's like a Black Panther looking cat. Very cool. I don't remember his name. I mean, not that it matters. You could call him Jason. It doesn't matter. It's an awesome toy, no matter what his name is. Look at this one. Holy shit. Here's his alternate portrait. So he's obviously a saber-toothed tiger. This is the calm, neutral head. I mean, sometimes you just want to shake the rest of the public and be like, what else do you guys want? Like, these figures are incredible. He comes with this base. Look at that head sculpt. Oh, let's get in there. God. Let's take him off his base. Super detailed, man. His little tail. His stripes are like tattoos. That's awesome. Like a freaking warrior saber-toothed tiger. And his base is this crazy bendable rubber snake is connected to the base. He's got these pegs for his feet to fit in to help him stand up on there. They stand up without the pegs, but the pegs just hold him down secure. That's beautiful. That is a gorgeous figure. Okay, next up, he had a sci-fi line too. This guy's awesome. Shit, I don't remember the name of this line. It might have been called the Mutants. It might have been Stan Winston's Mutants. This guy is a whole mess of detail. Like, you could stare at this guy for hours and still find new stuff on him. Sort of Cthulhu-looking head almost. And he's got this hand with all these weapons attached to it that just, the detail goes on and on and on. There's like drills and all kinds of stuff. He's got real chains that hang on him. All this like cyberpunk cybernetic stuff hooked up to him. The detail on these things is crazy. It's like Stan Winston, was like, oh, okay, you guys want hyper detailed figures? Boom, here you go. And then it flopped. I would have been so freaking just disappointed if I were Stan Winston. It's like, of course his monsters look great. He's responsible for all the movie monsters everybody loves. Here, this one is another one from the Creature Features line. This one's really cool. This is like this killer mermaid. This one also had a movie. I have this movie that this one's from. It's a cool little film. So they do have points of articulation. Look at that face. Kind of looks a little like the alien queen with that big headdress. It's got this dude's cut off head. Kind of looks like James Cameron to me. James Cameron without his beard, right? And last but not least, he did a line called Gargoyles. And, Stan Winston is famously known for being the special effects behind the made-for-TV's movie Gargoyles. Well, he came out with, I think, like 4 or 5 different Gargoyles. I owned 2 of them. Unfortunately, one of them, how many did I have? Maybe I had 2 of them. I had this guy and another one, sort of like a big hulking purple one, and he broke. And this one is amazing looking, but unfortunately, he had 2 wings and those little posts snapped off, so he no longer has his wings. But it's such a demonic, beautiful toy. I couldn't get rid of it, just because he didn't have his wings. He's still an incredible looking monster. Look at that thing. You could have this thing squaring off against your Mezco Conan figure. And he had like a little stone altar base, and I couldn't find it for the video. I'm pretty sure I still own it. I just can't locate it right now. But dang, look at that thing. That's monstrous. So yeah, he had a line of gargoyles. He had the creature features. Ah, shit. I've got one more that I don't have out right now. It's a spider guy. So he did a remake of Earth versus the Spider, and it's a guy. He's like half spider, half human. Man. Anyway. So yeah, he had the creature features. He had the mutants. He had the gargoyles. He had the realm of the claw, and he had the blood wolves. It's like, and they all came out around the same time, and they were just incredible, and I loved it. I couldn't get enough of these things. Granted, I don't own all of them. There were some that I didn't like, but the majority of the figures I did like, and they're just incredible to look at. And these are the kinds of action figures I like. It's just beautifully sculpted, incredible monsters. I don't care if they don't move if they have 500 different points of articulation. That's not that big of a deal for me. I want them to look incredible, and these do that. And I was sad that they got canceled, but I'm happy that I have what I have. I'm glad he made these. I'm glad that I don't have to try and track them down because they're expensive now. You guys can find these on eBay. But anyway, that is a look at my Stan Winston monsters. So yeah, thanks for stopping back. Thanks for stopping back by, everybody, and I will talk to you later. Happy Halloween.